bring you up to speed. Folks, while everybody's focused on what's happening in Israel and Gaza, I'm going to bring your attention to a major story happening this week that nobody seems to be covering. The Biden administration is literally steps away from regulating all internet service providers and taking over all internet infrastructure across the United States.
Brendan Carr is calling the Biden administration's digital equality plan for all internet services and infrastructure an awful power grab. He said President Biden's plan hands the administrative state effective control of all internet services and infrastructure in the country. Carr went on to say the Biden administration's plan empowers the FCC to regulate every aspect of the internet sector for the first time ever.
So let's verify this for ourselves right off the Federal Communication Commission website, right off the government's website. And this is astounding because this is the head of the FCC himself right there. And Carr opposes Biden's plan. As always, this is in my sources, so you can check it out and read it for yourself. President Biden's plan sweeps entire industries within the FCC's jurisdiction for the first time in the agency's 90-year history. President Biden's plan allows the FCC to impose unfunded build mandates on ISPs and unlimited monetary fines on every covered entity. The final vote for this is happening pretty much immediately. Next Wednesday, November 15th, the FCC is having their final vote. And if it wasn't for the Commissioner Brendan Carr, we probably never would have heard about it. And I bet they didn't talk about this on your 5 o'clock news.
Fucking terror. Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edified. Going into the times we're in, prophetic times, as the men of the Lord were set up and ordained since the beginning of the world to foretell these events of a coming kingdom and a collapse of this current rulership, which is known by Babylon, which is known as Babylon the Great, that is spearheaded by the Edomites. Okay, now I had to do some cross-referencing on the video that the guy was alluding to, and it looks like he's actually on point with this. All right, when you go into FCC stands for the Federal Communications Commission, okay, which is actual federal entity of the U.S. government. So it says FCC approves rules to prevent digital discrimination. Okay, so basically it looks like it passed, if I'm reading that correct. So it says, in a 3-2 vote on November 15th, the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, passed rules that represents a historic step towards closing the digital divide. And of course, these bills are always hidden under the positive law language of helping the people, when in fact, this is a very nefarious bill. And this may be somewhat form or fashion be directly tied into getting us right off the internet, if I'm reading this correctly. Because see, Esau likes to put out these bills and have these generic terms or these gray areas that the average person will read, and you can't really comprehend what it's saying. So it sounds like it's saying one thing, but then again, it sounds like it's saying something totally different. And when you read this, it's like, okay, digital discrimination. It makes it seem like, well, hey, that means that we're able to speak out freely against what we want to speak out. But in fact, this is totally the opposite. Okay, because we know that this kingdom is near its fall. Okay, this kingdom is falling very rapidly. Okay, like Yahweh Shai said that, behold, I've seen Satan fall as lightning. Okay, meaning Esau losing his rulership. I mean, we're in a time that he's getting ready to go down and go into captivity with the destruction of this kingdom. So therefore, they need to try to shut things down ASAP. Okay, because all this information that's coming out about who the true children of Israel is, okay, versus the small hats who's been perpetrating a lie since the Balfour Declaration. Even before then, back in the 1800s, you had political parties or political standpoints that was set up to put the small hats into the land of Israel by political means prior to the Balfour Declaration. So this was already propagated 100 years. I won't say 100 years prior to that, but it was propagated decades prior to that whole political state being set up in 1948. And they can't have all these talking points with people giving their opinions and expressing their freedoms of speeches and outrightly condemning this place with scriptures. They can't have that. Okay, so now they have to do damage control and they have to out anybody that's speaking against their New World Order. And this is where we're at. Okay, so it says as part of the 2021 Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, Congress mandated the FCC to adopt rules to prohibit digital discrimination of access based on income level, race, ethnicity, color, religion, or national origin. Since the infrastructure bill was relatively scant on details, many of the specifics on how it would be implemented would be decided by the FCC. So when you read this, it looked like that it's saying, okay, well, this is for the people. Okay, and this makes it seem like, well, yeah, we can have 1,000 Alex Jones out here, we have 1,000 Glenn Becks, you know, and redacted and Southern preppers and the men of the Lord speaking on these things, when in fact this is total opposite of that. You see, when you see discrimination, you automatically think minority or, people of color being placed in derogatory or in some type of limbo. But this really does away with that. This is, in fact, to take away the civil freedoms of the people of speaking out freely against this tyrannical system, which is prophesied, by the way. Okay, Psalms the 64th chapter. But it says last month, the agency published a report on the new initiatives and rules aimed to address digital discrimination. Like when you look that up, like I said earlier, it seems like it's positive, but it's clearly not. But it says what's laid out in the report was approval of the FCC's votes, which is, quote, the trajectory or the trajectory of digital process or progress has not always been even, has not always been fair, a result that has held back our collective achievements as a nation, said the Commissioner Jeffrey Stark, who voted in favor of imposing the rules. Eradicating digital discrimination anywhere will empower individuals everywhere. But this is a proceeding that will impact generations of Americans to come and will work to ensure a more and just equitable future for tomorrow. And what they're really saying in this bill is the fact that, well, we need people to stop coming out against us. We need people to stop speaking on transgender shit. And we just need people to just accept what we gonna do. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they're saying. Because what it says here, it says the Commissioner Brandon Carr, the senior Republican on the commission, voted against the order, calling it an unprecedented power grab by the FCC, and that's exactly what it is. Okay, but you won't know that just reading the article. Like, wait, that don't sound anything negative, but it's very negative. This is part of prophecy, man. Okay, this is the scriptures being fulfilled about the famine of the word coming in, and the fact that November the 20th, 5 days ago. Okay, which was what was Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Oh, excuse me, slacking. Oh shit. But last Wednesday, this thing passed. They voted on it 3-2. So basically they approved of it. Meaning, remember like net neutrality when they was taking brothers' videos down and like out the blue, like we couldn't speak on the Icky Vicky and everything that went down in 2020, 2021. They was coming against that, but now they can just blatantly just say, you know what, we gonna take this shit off the internet. Meaning things like Odyssey, BitChute, you got another one, Rumble. Those particular platforms, they may get shut down or they may get outed because I believe that these corporations have ownership or they have the authority and jurisdictions to shut down these private websites now. So like information like redacted, these things that I keep saying redacted, not redacted. Though they bring out good information, they're still juiced in. But things like Natural News, Rumble, all these, Alex Jones, they going to get rid of that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's doing away or it's coming in between or it's exposing their New World Order. Okay, like as of recently, and they've even been doing it before this shit even voted. They're still taking brothers' pages down. Okay, they're still taking videos from me from 2020, man, speaking on a you-know-what. Okay, and they have to make sure that there's no more videos exposing that whole tirade back then still in circulation because people have already hip to it. Okay, they feel like that's causing insurrections. They feel like that it's causing these terrorist organizations to come up and impede on the government. And the whole fact of the matter is the fact that people they're sick of it, man. And they can't have people revolting. They need useless slaves. But it says Commissioner Brandon Carr, the senior Republican on the commission, voted against the order, calling it an unprecedented power grab by the FCC. It says, quote, the Biden administration's entire approach to the internet, its entire agenda can be boiled down to one single word: control. Okay, and we told you that when this particular administration becomes head over your affairs, it was going to be a lot of craziness, a lot of dictatorships, a lot of weird stuff happening. Okay, a lot of unelected officials dictating rules and regimes over your lifestyles that they don't have no authority to impose on you. Okay, like since Biden has got in office, we've seen record inflation levels we haven't seen in 40 years. You know, inflation is up, at an all-time high just about. Interest rates are going up, The price of food was like just tremendously high last year, man. A carton of eggs at the beginning of the year was like $5, man. And this is for the basic stuff. Okay, and we told you that when this guy Biden got in office, he was going to bring a lot of division, and he did that. Now Jake is hollering, "Oh man, we want Biden out of there." Well, you should never put him in there in the first place. But it says Carr said, tying the digital discrimination rules to the administrator's efforts to reinstate net neutrality and push for social media platforms to combat online information. You can see it today as Biden administration has called on the FCC to adopt these digital equity rules, a framework that gives the FCC a nearly limitless power to veto private sector decisions. Okay, so if you have a website or a platform like Odyssey or BitChute or Rumble, those are considered private sectors. Okay, so therefore they can do away with that. They can say, well, look, this is infringing on our terms. We've passed laws and bills to counterblock this, and this is inappropriate. So we have to shut you down. And it's exactly what they're gonna do. Okay. Let's see here. What does this say? Supreme Court lifts limits now on Biden's official contact with tech platforms. That's the New York Times. And net neutrality. Biden's administration planned to bring back net neutrality rules. Yep. I'm not finna pay for this shit, but you get the point. So what I can do to get around that, and we're going to get the precepts, but I just wanted to kind of shed some light on this. Let's go. Just search the web for it. October 19th. Yep, it says Biden's FCC wants to bring back net neutrality. The White House may be running out of time to bring back net neutrality. FCC votes to advance plan to reinstate net neutrality rules. Right, so basically they want to control the internet, okay, because all the information, and really they trying to get us off the internet, and that's just really what it is, okay? Like Alex Jones and these guys like that, I mean, it's not too much of a threat because they're not backing these things up through biblical prophecy as we are, but still, they want to be able to shut this thing down at will. Okay, so this is the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, 12th verse. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he know he have but a short time." So this is part of the wrath that he's coming down with. Okay, and it's going to get to a point that he's going to start arresting individuals that speak directly against this government, man. Okay, or that speak directly against the small hats. So it's going to come a time that the words we speak will be rather fact illegal according to their terms. Okay, and we saw that last week when that Israeli officer pretty much accused that Palestinian woman of being a terrorist because she's looked at some content online. I mean, she could have miraculously scrolled on it. It could have been an accident. You know what I'm saying? She could have just been looking or browsing for something and it popped up. And then they rolled up on her and they read off these lists of Trump charges. And she literally bugged out. So these are the times we living in, brothers. To the point that these videos that we're putting out will be a direct violation of what Esau's rules, man. This would be a direct violation of his laws. Well, you can't say that, okay? But I thought we had freedom of speech. Well, that's done away with. Okay, and technically your Constitution has been scrapped since what they call the NDAA Act 2, which is the National Defense Authorization Act, which declared every United States citizen a terrorist at the 9/11. And this is what they did. So now, technically, Esau don't need a search warrant to run up in your spot. You already then gave away your civil freedoms by complying to these particular orders, man. So really, they can just come in your crib and arrest you. Okay, and this is why they don't stand behind the Constitution anymore. They don't believe in that. Okay, because if they did, then they wouldn't be able to do the things that they do. But now we're in a time of a so-called declaration of an emergency. So your rights are pretty much out the window. And like I said, it's going to come to a point that the talking points in which we speak on and that we teach, that would be rather illegal to even speak on these things, which will hence the famine of the word and get brothers persecuted. And some brothers, they're going to put in a slammer. You're going to get the guillotine, man. You know, that's going to be the actual reality of the time we living in, okay? Some brothers are going to have to give up their lives for this truth. You know, so, hey, don't be surprised when you get that bam at the door. Hey, such and such, can you come with me? We want to ask you a few questions, man. Hey, we've already told you. So you brothers out there, you sisters as well, because you're not you're not exempt from this. You know what I'm saying? You're not exempt from this either. You have to be tried as well. So, hey, just get it in your mindsets that this is a very possibility that this can happen to each and every last one of us. None of us is exempt. From the apostles on down, hey, they looking at us all. Okay, and they're waiting on the perfect moment to roll. Like it was this guy, man, I forgot his name. His name was David something, but it was back in 2019. It was a operation called Project Zypher. Okay, I may have the interview pulled up in an archive somewhere. I have to go back and look. But I did a video on it probably like back in 2019. And they was telling you about how an event like 2020 was going to happen. And they was going to use it to give all these corporations power and jurisdiction over the citizens and their private affairs. And then eventually people was going to start coming up missing. They was going to stage some type of blackout to the point that anybody that spoke against the New World Order, they was going to haul your ass off to a black site somewhere for you to never be heard of again. And that's going to be the case, man. Brothers going to be getting grabbed up. And hey, some brothers be going to get away. Some brothers going to get the power. You know, however the Lord decides to do it. But overall, man, you have to be aware and you have to be in the right mindset because this thing is coming, man. Okay, I had a scary vision last night of Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose, man. And it was chaotic. So, and that's the spirit because, you know, the Lord haven't given me a dream in some time. And I used to get them quite often, but it's been a minute since Yahweh Shai has given me a dream to that magnitude, you know. So that's how I know that we're in them times, man. All right. But anyway, going back to the article, it says the Biden administration's entire approach to the internet, its entire agenda can be boiled down to one single word: control. And it's all about control. Okay, the global elites, this is their way of playing the Most High in their dictatorship. Okay, because he felt like, well, the birthright was supplanted from him, which he gave it up as well. He feels like, well, you know what? I'm going to force this birthright back in my hands and I'm going to play God. Okay, I'm going to set up a technocracy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to oppress the people and I'm going to make people to come to me on my terms and conditions, which he's basically playing God. This is why he have all these artificial means, man, from fake meat, lab-grown meats, chicken. You know what I'm saying? He wants to euthanize all the animals, the cattle. Okay, and he wants to replace them with genetically hybrids, man. Okay, found out that this guy, Bill Gates, he's basically brought Bragg's apple cider vinegar, man. Now he's using his chemically coated apples to ferment apple cider vinegar, man. Okay, Bragg's apple cider vinegar, which was a good choice, you know, as far as holistic wise. Now all of a sudden this guy, Bill Gates, has ownership of that shit. So guess what? I won't be buying it anymore. All right, because we know that this guy, man, he has been buying acres of land like crazy to push his GMO agenda. Okay, like I believe he's patenting the potato. He owns like half the stock of potatoes from McDonald's restaurant. So hey, man, it'd be wise of you to stay away from them goddamn French fries. Okay. But it says, and Carr said, tying the digital discrimination rules to administration's efforts to reinstate net neutrality and push social media platforms to combat online misinformation. It says you can see it today as the Biden administration has calls on the FCC to adopt these digital equity rules, a framework that gives the FCC nearly limitless power to veto private sector decisions. It says for the first time, internet service providers can now be penalized by the FCC for implementing policies that result in certain communities getting relatively worse service or fewer opportunities to purchase service. It reads, ISPs can be fined if they are caught engaging in conduct that's discriminatory and not justified by genuine issues of technical or economic feasibility, which will be determined by the FCC on a case-by-case basis and based on what others have been able to do in the past. Well, this is totally contradictory because this whole goddamn bill is based on discriminating against people's civil freedoms and free rights to say what the hell they need to say. You know what I'm saying? So you see how they just overstep their boundaries and basically put you people in subjection? And this is what we've been telling you, man, government mind control. And you think that the people in this fucking country will have a problem with this, but these people, man, they ain't doing it. They're just waking up in the morning, going to work, eating fast food and doing that shit and repeating it every single day until they run out of time, man. Okay, and this is the reason why they got away with a lot of this madness. But this is prophecy, man. You know, Yahweh Bashim and Shai, he warned us and he told us that this will happen. Okay, and this Esau basically playing the Most High. All right, so this is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5. And I'm going to start at verses, not 5. I always get it mixed up. I think it's 2 Thessalonians, my bad. Yep, this is 2 Thessalonians 2. And I'm going to start at verses 2. And I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, nor be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, that the day of the anointed is at hand, okay? And this is what we're telling you. This is the end, okay? They're getting ready to come down with great wrath, and they're getting ready to make their moves because the Lord has given them, he's given them a short window to do what they have to do before he comes and intervene. So the good news is when they do this, the Lord is going to intervene with this shit. So, you know, brothers, that it's not thing to be troubled by, because when you think about it, it's very troubling to the flesh. Like, oh, damn, what I'm going to do? But you have to remember that the Lord will lift up a standard. OK, and even if you are in a jam, remember, you're going to be comforted because you're going to have faith that the Spirit of the Lord is with you. And if you keep that in the back of your mind, like I know Yahweh Shai is with me, then it ain't really nothing to worry about. And he's going to give you the spirit in order to deal with what you have to deal with. Because if not, you'll be through. Like these people, they're through. But it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except that come a falling away first, that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Okay, and we're reading about this devil. He's being revealed. Okay, he's being exposed. It says, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worship, so that he is the Most High, sitteth in a temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, man. And that's what he's doing. And this is why he have all this net neutrality shit. He's patenting potatoes. Okay, he's euthanizing cattle. He's setting up biolabs. He's literally trying to play the Most High, changing the weather, man, you know, opening up portals to the spirit world, all types of madness this man is engaging in. But it says here, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now it says, and ye know what holdeth that he might be revealed in his time, and he's been exposed. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, but only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. And when shall that wicked be revealed, which is Esau, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved, man. Okay, so you 2/3, you're going to get taken by this flood. Okay, because here we're warning you week in and week out. The videos are going out like clockwork, and yet Jake is still in a folly. They're still engaging in wickedness, man. And the Lord is going to let 2/3 of you get caught up in this coming flood. All right, with the elect being delivered from it. All right, this is the book of Amos 8, and I'm going to start at verses 11. It says, behold, the days shall come, thus says the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of the hearing of the words of the Heavenly Father, okay? So, hey, it's going to come a time that these videos, they're going to be taken down. Our channels are going to be banned, and then before you know it, we ain't going to be able to go out to the streets anymore. You know, because, hey, you're going to have hell breaking loose, martial law, and all this other madness. Now, when they shut down the internet, we may be able to go out and still teach on the streets for a time being, because, I mean, you know, you may have some type of society. Let me correct that. Let me not. That sounds weird. Now, this is going to be implemented over the course of time. Okay. Now, we don't know how it is. We don't know when they fully establish it. Will we be in martial law? Because, of course, you can't be out there speaking when all hell break loose. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that they take our pages, but we're still able to go out and teach the word. You're still going to have people that's going to come up to the camp and that's going to listen. You know, and the fact that they're going to take the internet, the fact that people are going to be looking for these videos, they're going to think to come over. Let me see if they out here today. Let me come and get some edification. Let me come and let me listen. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in that final stage of the elect, which, you know, the apostles say that the elect can already be sealed. So that's a very possibility. But I'm just speaking as a man, you know, however the Lord decides to do it. But regardless of that, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, once he takes this internet away, I believe the judgment is going to come soon thereafter because there's no warning. OK, like the scriptures say that the law should perish from the ancient. No, the roughly paraphrasing, the law should perish from the priests and the ancients, roughly paraphrasing it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be totally sealed up. But it says here, not of famine of bread for thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Heavenly Father. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea and from north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro and seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it, because there's going to be an outage on these truth videos. Okay, you're only going to have limited access to this content. So the best way to get it is now. And it says, and in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. And it's talking about thirst of this knowledge and wisdom and understanding, because they're not going to know whence to go, because it's going to be too chaotic for them to be able to wrap their minds around what's happening. Well, damn, we heard some guys on the corner saying something about don't take a microchip. But what exactly was they saying? We can't recollect on it, but it's going to be too late. All right. But it says here, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. All right. And we right at that cusp. All right. 2nd Ezra 16. And I'm going to start at verses 18. It says here, and it is said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion should be fulfilled, and when the world that should begin to vanish away should be finished, then I will show these tokens. And the books should be opened together before the firmament, and they should see together, and they're seeing the truth. Okay, the firmament represents this internet. Okay, the videos being uploaded into the cloud, and the books being, you know, us out there speaking, teaching the word, and we're being seen. We're being broadcasted. Like literally, like we're literally YouTube famous, man. So, you know, Apostle Kabar did a video, said, make sure you bring your A game when you go to the street ministry, you know. And, you know, I didn't see the video, but just thinking about it, I was, you know, meditating on it. I was like, yeah, we really got to be on our P's and Q's and teaching with the utmost, you know, we have to be out there in the most upbeat manner, man, because people are really watching us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just something you do. You go out there on Saturdays and you go out there and scream and shout. Nah, we're really doing a service to the people, to the elect of our people. Okay, we're providing a service, man. And if you're selling something, then you want people to be convinced and, you know, adequately, thoroughly edified with the information you're putting out there. So going out to the highways and the byways isn't a light thing, man. Okay, just because you don't have nobody out there listening to you. We have a world wide web, you know, and these other camps, they seem to have been talking shit about us because, well, y'all be in secluded places, and we ain't in no secluded places, man. You know, you look at our videos, we right downtown Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the GMS camps are still downtown. Okay, just because you other camps, you thrive on controversy and fame, they don't give you the right to put that stipend on us, man. You know? But it says here, I'm going to go down a little bit. Yep, 28, it says, as for faith, it should flourish and corruption should be overcome. And the truth, which had been so long without fruit, should be declared. Okay, and the truth is being declared now. And this is why he wants to take us off. Okay, because he can't stop. It's like oil being spilled out of a container. Or once you spill out water, you can't put it back in a container, man. You may be able to get a few drops back in the bucket, but overall, that water is gone, man. It's spilled out. You got to mop it up. You know? 2nd Ezra 5, and I'm going to start at verses 9. It says, and the salt water should be found in the sweet, and all the friends should destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber. Okay, and this is the Lord taking the knowledge back. He's withdrawing the information. And it reads, and it says, and should be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied on the earth. So once the truth is cut off and they don't have access to this word, then more violence, more evil, more wickedness, more death, more destruction will commence shortly thereafter. And one land shall ask another and say, is righteousness that make a man righteous going through thee? And it shall say, no. And at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. Okay, because they going to say, wait, man, have you seen those guys on the YouTube with those garments on? You know what Bible's teaching? Have you seen them guys? No, we haven't seen their videos. They've been shut down. Well, hey, man, let's go around town. We may be able to catch a camp. I mean, it's to the point they're going to be just looking for any camp out there speaking just to get information to the word. All right, the men of the Lord, we're going to literally become hot commodity in a little bit, man. Especially when they don't have, it's one thing, when you don't have access to something, when it becomes a rarity, that's when it becomes most valuable. You know, that's why the scriptures tells us in Isaiah the 32nd chapter that a man should be as a hiding place from the wind. Okay, and of the golden wedge of Ophir. It's going to be us real soon, brothers, man. So don't take this lightly, but I'm going to end it here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom.